So I'm starting out with the Fawn Loads of Fun stamp set. I've already picked up the laundry machine, laundry basket, a sock, and the soap boxes with my Misty tool. I'm using the Misty tool today because I wanted to use watercolor paper, and the watercolor paper is much more porous than regular cardstock, so I'm going to have to stamp it up several times to make sure I get all those lines nice and neat how I want them. I'm going to go with a sock related card today because I have a friend whom I always complain to about my socks. She has actually sent me a bunch of socks because she's my best friend and I can never have a matching pair of socks, no matter how hard I try. The laundry machine seems to eat them up. So today I'm going to go with the sentiment that says, I would be lost without you, with a few socks. Here I've got my Gansai Tambi watercolor set, and I messed up with the watercolors previously, so I wanted to make sure this time that the stamp ink was good and dry before I started. I've got a watercolor brush there that already has I'm going to go ahead and just put some cheerful music on while I color these. want to make a shaker card, so I'm going to use the Lawn Fawn Circle Frames die. Alright, so I've already die cut the circle with the Lawn Fawn Circle Frames die out of some black cardstock, which fits perfectly over the washing machine. Stick it over this acetate. Get nice and flat on there. And then I'm gonna trim for a while to make sure that there's none of that hanging off over the edge. You can see some of the sequins that I've picked out for my shaker card, which is a little pink, blue, and white for little soap bubbles. Oops, almost lost my washing machine front there. Alright, now that I've got everything trimmed the way I like it, I'm going to go ahead and play around with where I want my little socks to go. I know I want some of the color peeking out so that you can see the two matching socks and the one little lonely sock. I'm going to end up changing where I want them later anyway, because you'll see that I'm going to struggle a little bit with the adhesive. I went for a glue pen and that didn't work out, so I'm just going to skip ahead to where I decided to just go ahead and use the adhesive tape runner to stick it on. At this point, I've got my little sock stuck onto my acetate, so I'm going to take my foam tape, double it up over itself so my shaker elements have lots of room to shake around, and cut a thin strip. It's not going to be quite thin enough, as you'll see that I have to trim off some, but that's no problem. I went ahead and took the backing off of it first so that it would be more flexible and I'd be able to make a nice circle with it. There I am, trimming off those extra pieces off the edge. Unfortunately, my video cut out, but you can see I've got my little shaker elements in my shaker window and my washing machine front on top of my washing machine. So I'm just picking out the background for my card. I've got a standard size card that I already had cut and folded to 5.5 by 4.25. I'm going to take this tan cardstock and use it as my base. You can see I messed up there, so I had to readjust it. Make sure it's nice and straight. I've got this polka dot paper that I've cut to 4.25 so that I could use it as sort of a floor for my laundry room. Just gonna go ahead and tape it down right where I like it. Turn my card over and trim off the excess. Alright, just get that little bit at the end. Now I'm going to see where I want all my little pieces to go. This is just sort of a basic card for the stamp set with some of the basic elements, but I wanted to make a little shaker card for my friend. So I think I like where I've picked out. I'm going to get a bunch of foam tape to stick on the back of all these little pieces and decide where I want to finally set everything down. I'm going to use kind of a lot of foam tape because I don't want any of this to collapse when I send it in the mail to her. You can see my little boo-boo pieces that I stamped on the back of that cardstock. But it's always okay to reuse. Sorry, peeling off the backing on that washing machine off to the side there. Just going to set it right on the floor of my card. Get some tape on the back of my little laundry basket. Go ahead and peel off the backing for that. Stick it right in that bottom right corner. At first I thought I wanted it sort of angled, but I went ahead and just did a basic straight on with it. Just gonna get some little pieces for my dryer sheets and my soap box. Almost lost my soapbox, but just peeling the backing off of it and gonna stick it right next to little dryer sheets. I'm gonna pick up my sentiment, which was I would be lost without you, and prepare some black cardstock to heat emboss. Seeing where I want it there, picking it up with my acrylic block. Unfortunately, my video cut out again, but I used my EK Success powder tool to make sure that the ink would go just where it needs to. Heat emboss my sentiment with white Zing embossing powder and trim down a little banner. You can see I'm making little fishtails there. I'm going to take a look and see that I actually don't want it quite so large, so I'm going to trim it down a little bit more. Get those fishtails nice and closed. I think I like that. So, I'm going to grab some more foam tape. Cut it down to size, make a nice little raised banner. Stick it on down there, so cute. I love this card so much because it's so whimsical and precious. I'm going to take my white gel pen and make some dashed lines just to fill in that little space that I've got on the banner there. Dashed lines are always a cute little addition to add. Gonna add a little bit of detail to those little buttons, and then I'm gonna finish up with some Ranger glossy accents on the buttons and on the laundry basket to make it look like a plastic laundry basket. I like to just do a dab of the glossy accents and then spread it around where I need to. It doesn't have to be a whole bunch of glossy accents, but a little bit has a big impact. just getting the top of my little laundry basket there. And then I'm going to go back and fill around the bottom, but I'm going to go around those little basket holes. And that finishes up my cute little card. I can't wait to send it to my friend.